He hadn't done much before Rosemary's Baby, and he turns out one of the top 5. There are courses taught on this film. It's so mired in detail and mystery and legend, but all you have to do is watch it. Mia Farrow, I mean, it just, again, it gives me gooseflesh to just take her performance, okay? And forget all that was going on in her personal life that may have, hemorrhaged into this performance. But I don't know, you guys, that movie is friggin' scary as hell. And it is so chock full of performance and brilliant, and then, then there's production design and wardrobe. In that movie, of course, it's very well chosen. But again, in terms of, I won't go into quote unquote horror movies and whatever, too many genres, there's also so many that are so good for other reasons. Production design and wardrobe. Douglas Sirk is a brilliant director, but it's really because of his production designer. Body blah. And then, so you can't compare Douglas Sirk to, Lena Wertmuller. I mean, there's just apples and oranges everywhere. So those are my top 5 kind of go-to desert island movies that I really think are the 5 best for me to watch. From 49 to 99. Okay, now, little part B of this little RH diary here would be a film that I saw not 2 days ago. Okay, now there are bad movies. Let's just clear that table, okay? What, were there like 17,000 hideous rom-coms made in the 80s? Sure. We can point to a million movies that were bad and just bad for so many reasons. Take your genre, take your pick. I mean, there's just bad movies. Sissy Spacek's first movie was like, she's like hitchhiking in the middle of nowhere, and then she just kind of goes to somebody's house and eats, and it's over. It's really like, what? But that's a different kind of bad movie. Okay, so we're not talking about like bad movies here. Because Howard Hawks, an immensely famous director whose son I was very close with, so I know this quote. And he probably has been quoted elsewhere for it, but I knew it from Greg, his son. And he said, and I'm paraphrasing, he said something to the effect of, you shouldn't really watch bad movies because they're like pollution. They're like toxic to your brain. Like, don't watch them. There is the staph infection. Okay, so I know that he was probably talking about don't watch bad good movies, because he was brilliant. And what to him was a bad movie at the time, to us may have been kind of like a really kind of okay movie now. So, but if you extrapolate on that concept that bad movies can sometimes be toxic, here's a great friggin' example. And there's a lot of movies I don't like for a lot of different reasons. But I was stunned the other night. And this is 2003, so it was also staggering to me because I don't watch a lot of current movies. I will go to the theater for the experience of some new movies. I will watch them on cable, but not a lot because I do a lot of reading and I work on these shows and other things. So, but regardless, I saw this piece of filth the other night. And I will never do this again, you guys. When these guys pop on YouTube and say, oh my God, these forgotten horror movies like that no one ever saw, they're so scary and incredible. Don't do it. This is how I found this movie. And I typed it in, and I did my Czechoslovakian video thing, go Google video. And I found it, the movie the guy named. And I'm not even going to dignify, it was Exorcism, Eastland, whatever the fuck, I don't know. Like Exorcism in East Bump, whatever. From 2003. This is a movie that should never have been made. The budget of this film should have fed the homeless. Okay, the budget for this film should have gone to animal shelters. Bad movies are sometimes so well intended, or bad movies are sometimes so accidental, or a bad movie can be intentional. Like, if you want to talk about a bad movie, but you could see Pasolini's Salo. Now that will make you vomit, but it's different. It's just different. Email me. okay, so this movie was made. Somebody made this on the toilet. I don't know what got in. It's within the context of this kind of thing, and I don't care about any spoiler. Okay, here, like I'm spoiling everything. Then there's not much to spoil, or it's already spoiled to begin with. So okay, whoever thinks of this movie on the toilet based on the fact that this has happened before, you know what? I am not losing sleep over the fact that there have been like unlivings due to like, exorcisms or whatever, that weren't exorcisms, I don't know. And it's based on this history of this happening. They name like, I don't know, 5 of them or whatever. And I'm not losing sleep over that. With everything going on in the world, like, first of all, I'm not losing sleep over the unliving from false exorcisms. And second of all, like, this was, okay, so this was like, I don't know. He Googled this movie. ChatGPT could make Gone with the Wind compared to this movie, and then I don't know what the motivation behind this movie was. So we start out of the blue with this wife and this husband. And so suddenly, he's convinced that she's possessed, and they're in her neurologist or her shrink's office. And turns in an excellent performance. She's quite a beautiful woman. Poor thing, you got stuck in this piece of trash. So we're in, I don't know, it starts in this doctor's office or something, or in this like church home or whatever. And the gist of it is, the doctor basically knows she's schizophrenic, and the husband's like on the fence. And she's just, like full immersion in, her being disturbed. So then suddenly there's like this church people, and then like, okay, so then we're going in the direction of like, anti-Christian whatever, but not really, because then they're speaking in tongues. All that's missing is like the chick's snake charming, but then it's suddenly benevolent. Like then these characters come, like they're kind of like nice, and they are with the congregation of the husband by proxy with this wife in this church congregation. So like I said, he's on the fence, is she possessed? I don't know. And, so he's like, well, it keeps happening. The pills aren't working. So, oh my God. So then, poor thing gets taken home. Mistake number 1, it's like, you're like, don't go in the closet. It's like, don't go home. Like, quit, move to New York. Where's the transportation guy? Get off the set. So whatever, she's brought home. Okay, so everyone's kind of on the side of she's possessed now, even though like, and then we don't know because she's displaying signs of schizophrenia, but then the devil flashes and what is it? So this character is brought in. I just want to vomit from the idea of this character. He is this character with no development, with this surprise guy, pops in. He's called in as the exorcist because her psychiatrist won't sign off on an exorcism. Okay, so he's like the renegade exorcist. So he comes in and he's like drinking in the bathroom, but we don't know if he's a good guy, if he's like, he really believes in himself. And so are we supposed to believe in him? Like, if it is an exorcism, go dude. But then there's like, then he's disturbed. And then you don't know what's going on. And so she says, I'm from the legions, or the legions are going to get you. She could have read that off of Google, but then they're convinced that she speaks like this and she says legions of something. And so then, oh my God, then it really gets scary for her, because then you really start to realize this guy's unhinged. No pun intended towards the end. Whatever. Okay, so then he starts this exorcism process that goes on seemingly forever, and these like church people are bussed in, and the whole crosses and whatever, and demon be gone. And then there's like suddenly for some reason there's like she dances around. That's part of the why she's possessed. She dances around, and oh my God. And so this guy goes off the rails with his exorcism. This busload of these people from this church house, but then there's one set of there's one girl that lady that realizes, oh, this is off the rails. Somebody should call the doctor. Which her business card is conveniently placed in the pocket of the actress. And so she grabs the card, and she doesn't know really what to do. They're unliving the poor schizophrenic girl because she's possessed. Oh, what a moral conundrum. Go make a phone call. So, whatever. And then you kind of sort of realize that this guy is just completely unhinged, and this is going south to nowhere. And the husband is like, no one is sympathetic in this movie. They start kind of with a little bit, and then you hate the person. And then you want to vomit because you don't know why you hate them. And the husband is despicable because he's just innocuous. There's no character there. There's no character with anybody. At the end, okay, let's finally wrap this shit up. So the exorcism is not successful because the renegade exorcist, in the throes of the final whatever of this exorcism, is trying to get the devil out of her mouth or whatever, because she splashes on him. We don't know, so it gets extremely disturbing for all the wrong reasons, because in trying to get the devil out of her mouth, he unhinges her, to the point of unliving, unhinges, opens. Okay, so devil didn't come out, but then the guy's saying it's going to come out in 3 days. She's going to, rise from the dead and whatever. But as this is happening now, we've got this dead girl in a box, and it becomes Iron Man or Burning Man or whatever the hell. And there's these camps of people waiting for her resurrection. Suddenly it's Burning Man, and there's tents and flags of all varieties all over the yard and the grounds. It's in bum hell, wherever, and rooting for her resurrection. And then it's obvious it's not going to work, and then it's deserted Burning Man with everything gone. And oh yeah, there's a sheriff who comes and sees the carnage, and then it's the exorcist guy, we have 24 hours to turn ourselves in, with the sheriff right there. He's yeah, whatever. And everyone's sort of oh my God. And then the last shot is basically her in the box, wide-eyed, everything showing, as some of us are too well acquainted with the dead body. And it's her in the box. There's an overhead shot of her in the box with flowers and whatever, and then it's over. Disgusting waste of celluloid or whatever the hell they use now. This movie never should have been made. It was disturbing for all the wrong reasons. There was no development, there was no plot, there was nothing. It's a non-existent film. It doesn't exist. It's a piece of vapor and whatever. Okay, I was going to say these actors should have blood on their hands, but then I was going to say it was the writers, the directors. No, it's a non-entity film. It's nothing. There. So anyway, I'm sure this show is definitely going to have to be a two-parter, because I'm off the rails too, right? Anyway, 5 favorites, 1 bad. There you go. Thank you for sharing today with me. I do feel a lot better, because I was especially after that last one, I wanted to get that one out of my system. And it's nice to talk about my favorites. Okay, you guys. What do I say except wrap it up? I love you. I adore you for putting up with me and letting me share my stories, and your time with me means everything. When I say you, I mean my viewers, the people that bother to watch these things. That's you. You're the 4th person in this loft with me hanging out. Okay, I'll let you go, as I always say, and you'll get a couple clips, you'll get a preview, and we'll be coming up with a brand new show tomorrow. And this tonight may be a 2-parter. Okay. Couldn't love anyone more than you guys. I'll see you. Bye.